We're back. Well, are we even really back? Scratch that. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Cultured Grenadian Girl. The world through my Grenadian eyes. Some things are still the same. Still me, still Anika. But quite a few things have changed from when this page originally launched in January of 2021. Back then, the name was different, the vibe was a little different, the look was different. So, what's going on over here now? A bit of the same, but like I said, we coming with more oomph, more je ne sais quoi, more vibes, like Islander Living Callaloo Conversations. When that was launched back in January of 2021, the intentions was to bring lifestyle content, life hacks, adulting 101 from the angle of West Indians, but even with that felt like it needed more refining. I'm Grenadian, and much of my life experience has been Grenadian. While I've collaborated with the wider world, there's lots of things that it will be from a Grenadian point of view, and that should not be limiting me. And I think that was part of the journey, that even in owning that like, yes, this is coming from a Grenadian voice, a Grenadian, from Grenadian eyes, and a Grenadian point of view. So I want to make a long story short, for maybe the first time in my life, or try to tell you like what has happened since launching Islander Living Callaloo Conversations, and how have we gotten to here, Cultured Grenadian Girl. Like I said, January 2021, this page was launched, and while that was when the first video might have been debuted, there was lots of work that happened like since 2020. Going out of that, so the last video I would have uploaded from that point, lots of maturing needed to happen, and lots of life in managed to happen too. By April, I was undertaking a new professional career, and this is in 2021, so like a lot of my focus and energy needed to go into that. Then came some losses in my life that really like started to put life in perspective for me. So 2021, I also wanted to like focus my energy where I could focus my energy, and new career, I was still a student, and I was like, let us at least get being a student out the door. So I focused a lot of my attention there and channeled a lot of my energy there, and by March 2022 I sat my last exams. April 2022 I was getting the results of those exams. I was done with that element of studying, and that was a major relief, because boy, that was a journey in itself. You would think it was time for a little ease up. Nope. That was not the ease up time yet. From 2022 to 2023, what was going on there? Several lessons, several life lessons. Life needed me to learn some lessons. So if this is what I was saying this page was about, how could I be sharing life lessons when I couldn't even understand if Johnny has 5 apples? Like, I couldn't even get some of these lessons myself, and I really needed to learn them. So 2022 into 2023 felt like that. Like a lot of my energy was going into that, and a lot of my identity, my own identity, was being explored. So getting to terms with like even Grenadian, what is being Grenadian? What does that mean to me? Being in rooms where like being asked to describe Grenada, traveling to places where it is like representing Grenada, and having to share that oftentimes when it's said from like we're a small island close to, you know, like having to give all of these different reference points, when it is like we're people, you could see us real, real people, who real voices, real stories. And I think that's where a lot of this like came from. Like, there was real stories I shared, real experiences I wanted to share, and really needed to rethink, like, even in my own stories, what were stories I was willing to share? What was in the name of being authentic? What did that mean and feel like for me? And during that period as well, I was doing a lot of explorations into like what is authenticity and exploring that. And I feel like that really brought me into, let's get into like 2024. Life still said you have a few more losses to experience because there are some more lessons here. And some major lessons that were coming up for me was like grief. Another big one, rest. I honestly had to learn to rest, which you would think you know how to rest. Didn't. And that was a big lesson that I was learning in that year. And then learning to have fun again, learning to explore, have adventure, discover, like renewed curiosity. Those were things that I felt like 2024 brought. And the 30th of August 2024, I debuted journal entries of a cultured Grenadian girl. That was my first blog post, and it started off with a welcome. I'm going to have the link to that below. And from there, developed a website, www.culturedgrenadiangirl.com. Link below as well. And that got its own refining. So if you're familiar with that HBO TV show now on Netflix called Insecure, that started off as misadventures of an awkward black girl, and I was following the journey from since then on YouTube. I want to say like around 2017, that was when that was a thing. And the cultured Grenadian girl kind of feels like that. But if you read the blog talking about like the journal entries, I am a finance professional, and it's like play on words with that, so a bit of my wit coming out there. And even just showing the connectivity we have with so many things that we may not necessarily realize. And I think that is one of the biggest things that I want to do with this channel. I want to show how much more connectivity we can have that we're not always aware of, and to even make us more aware, because it is, these connections is how we get connected with each other, how we relate to one another. And yeah, that website went through its refining, polishing, branding, all of those things. 2025 had its own adventures for me, which I'm going to share sooner or later. There has been so much exploration I've had during this year. Traveling to new countries, meeting different people, speaking different languages. Like, that has been fun, to say the least. And here we are with this brand, Cultured Grenadian Girl. 2025, that's a bit of a rundown of what has happened between 2021 and now. We're going to get into a lot more of that as we go along further, but welcome is what I can say. I want you to like, share, subscribe, comment, join the journey, embrace the journey. Looking forward to all the collaborations that have already been in discussion. Looking forward to those that haven't been discussed yet but will come. Like, so much more stretching that I can imagine is going to happen from this point forward. And really happy that like you're here, I'm here, we're here. By the way, I can't sing, so I can't sing well. I do have active vocal cords and I do like to sing. This is besides the point. Besides the point. Welcome, guys. Welcome.